It does not mention sacrifices.
Now they are thy servants, thy people, whom thou hast redeemed with thy great power. How did God redeem them? Through a blood sacrifice.
No, I've already shown you from Leviticus.
When they were in Egypt, they had to put blood on the doorpost.
Yeah.
They had to sacrifice the lamb.
You have been exposed as a liar and a deceiver.
I admitted I added a parenthesis. Yeah?
That's all you can say, by the way.
Your
one-line contribution.
Paul, do you do amateur dramatics?
Paul, I admit
he added the phrase by sacrifice.
No, the command says.
Thank you.
It was insincere. He thinks you're insincere.
I apologise for being insincere. But can you see the point that I'm making? That I just chose this passage because he was saying it was. The point that Paul was making was it was unwilling, undeliberate sins.
Yes.
The point I was making was Nehemiah was confessing for deliberate sins.
But notice there's no sacrifice required.
I'm saying the sacrifice
and he had
is
to
implied.
make up the passage. He had to change the words of the passage.
All right, okay, you made your point.
Yeah.
So the implication
and
is
you confessed
what the
your...
command. All right, what did King Josiah do?
Oh, here we go, another passage.
When King Josiah...
Read it to us, read it to us.
All right, King Josiah.
Now, let's watch him very carefully because he's got a track record of deceiving people. And he admits it, by the way. I'm not the liar, he admits it.
No, but they were following the command. I think people were doing the sacrifice.
He was adding words to the text to deceive the Muslims that he's lying against his own Bible, and he admitted it in public. See, here's a text there. You've got to be careful with him. Because he will falsely read this. He doesn't know. But I know because I've actually read it. And he's trying to con people.
He read about Bani Israel. What they were doing.
I think we've exposed this enough now.
No, you've made your point, Paul.
All I've done is read Leviticus.
You obviously don't want me to read the next bit.
What's the passage?
All right, it's 2 Kings.
2 Kings. Let me find it because we know what you like. 2 Kings.
What chapter? It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's okay.
I'm trying
So
to...
chapter 22. It's either Chronicles or 2 Kings.
Well, it's the same thing. It's
the same thing.
The copies. You know the Bible copies.
So 2 Kings, all right? 2 Kings.
Yeah, what chapter?
That's chapter 22, right?
Yeah, which verse?
So, I'm just getting to that. I don't know the verse.
Oh, you don't know the verse?
Yeah. So, right, this is what, by the way, the point I'm making is that when it says commandments, and it talks about the place where God causes them to dwell, the commandments were to make sacrifices, yeah? That was the prime commandment that Moses left for the people of Israel, was to carry out regular sacrifices for their sins.
The vast majority of sacrifices,
he says not
peace
for
offerings,
sins.
wave offerings, the offerings, they have nothing to do with sin. And he
The majority, but not all.
the vast majority of sacrifices have nothing to do with sin offerings.
But there
If you
were
look at the book of the law,
sacrifices
the
for
book of the
sin.
law is Leviticus.
sacrifice
And
on
I'll
the
show
Day of
you
Atonement.
through.
That was a sin sacrifice.
The burnt offering has
What
nothing
was
to
the
do with sin.
sacrifice
No sin is mentioned.
Job did?
The grain offering, nothing to do with sin. Offerings of well-being, nothing to do with sin.
If you read
They are thanksgiving offerings, thanksgivings for the harvest. If you look through here, there's nothing to do with sin in the burnt offerings. Nothing to do with sin in the grain offering.
I think what
Nothing to
Richard
do
was
with
trying to do
sin
was say,
in
on the Day of
offering
Atonement, which was the holiest of
We're
the
not
feast
talking
days.
about that
Now,
day.
I'm talking
We're
about
talking about
that
the
day.
364
That was a sin
days
offering
when
for the
it's not
people
been done.
of
Job
Israel
said?
who were under judgment.
What did Job
So, chapter 23, where is your...
Chapter 23, yes.
What is your proof?
Yeah, they were personal sins. Yeah, trespass. And on the Day of Atonement, it was a sin
Not
offering.
just personal.
I think on the
So, 2
Day of
Kings
Judgment, God
23.
will judge you and your ability to
And I'm
understand.
watching you like hawks this time,
Fine.
because you tend to make
God has
things
the
up
rules and he has as many exceptions as he wants. We
You're
go
not talking about that, by the way. You're making stuff up.
You're a Muslim, obviously.
There we go. Your one line. Thank you. That one line again.
Right. So
Thank you
what's
for your
your name again?
contribution.
Jalal. Okay. So when before the people of Israel sinned against God by worshipping, they worship Moloch and all these gods, and God punished them and he sent them into captivity. But before that happened, there was one king who realised what was going on and made confession for the sins, and that confession for sins was connected with the sacrifice. Okay? So when he became king Uzziah, he found the book of the law,
My first
he read the book of the
4
law,
minutes wasn't recorded.
commanded
The
priests
sound
to
wasn't
build
recorded.
the temple,
I don't think I did.
and then he burned all the idols around Jerusalem, and then he commanded the people to carry out the sacrifice for their sins. And I'm going to read this, and I'm going to carry on talking. What is the reference? I'm not going to let Paul stop me. What are you going to do? It's Second Kings,
I think the first 4 minutes wasn't recorded, so I don't know if I...
19. It's a bit different from the one you mentioned before.
Yeah, because I had to find it, because he did. There's a whole passage here where he's getting rid of the sodomites and things like that. Moreover, Josiah removed all the houses of the high places that were in the cities of Samaria, which the kings of Israel made to provoke the Lord, and did to them all that he did in Bethel. And he sacrificed all the priests of the high places that were there on the altars. And the king commanded all the people, saying, keep the Passover to the Lord your God, as it is written in the book of this covenant. For a Passover such as this had not been kept from the days of the judges who judged Israel, even all the days of the kings of Israel and of the kings of Judah. Okay, so the Passover was when they took a lamb, they sacrificed it, and they put the blood on the doorpost.
It's not a sin offering. Whatever, but you may be right. It's not a sin offering.
Now this was a sin offering.
Refuse it again.
That's what
It's not a
happened in
sin
the
offering. Using the Passover is a sin offering. It's not.
Richard, the blood of the
Nothing to
bull
do with
would
it.
be carried in to the Holy of Holies, and the high priest
You don't know
would
your
sprinkle the
Bible,
blood
dude.
to atone for the sins of the
Thanks.
nation
No,
of
thank
But
Israel.
you come here every week, you preach
Yeah,
to
but this is-
people,
this is good
but you
stuff.
don't have a basic grasp of the Torah.
Not basic.
Your Quran. Because you're getting, this is Torah 101 points you're getting wrong. No, seriously. My advice to you is go and read the book carefully from beginning to end, and really think about it, then come back and start preaching it.
We have read it and we know
And
it.
preferably do a course, an academic course. and
Where do you
learn it.
suggest I do an academic course?
Well, I recommend where I went at the London University or Oxford or Cambridge, for my favourites.
Oh, right. Okay. Thanks, Paul. That's where you studied.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So,
Seriously, yes.
right. And where do you propose I get the money to do that from?
Well, to actually read the Bible, you have it in your hands. You've got
Yes.
your pen.
No, the course at Cambridge or Oxford. Where do I get the money to pay for that?
Well, that's a different matter. I'm not to discuss.
Right.
I don't know no idea
Okay.
about your finances.
All right.
But you can simply read the book and get an awareness of its content. You're not showing any awareness of the basic teaching of the Torah today. I mean, it's about okay. But at every point, it's easy. It's like taking candy off a child. You're not getting it right.
Okay.
Really. And
thanks
you've
for
admitted it. And you've had to fabricate scripture to make your point.
But the thing is, Paul, I've come here not to see, Paul. You've talked about yourself and about how you have this knowledge of Scripture, which you learned at Oxford and Cambridge. I come here to talk about God and Jesus. You come here to boost yourself up. You can put me down, and I accept that. I've accepted your boost. I don't come to boost myself up. I come to lift the Lord Jesus up.
Amen.
That's why I come here.
Amen.
And it's Jesus who tells me to come here. So you can say what you like. I'm not going to obey you because I should obey God and not man. This is what the apostles said. You decide for yourself whether I should obey God or obey men. You decide. Should I obey God or obey men?
This is where the sacrifices used to
Think
take
about
place.
I'll think
it.
about it.
Because I think I should obey God. And when God tells me to come here and to share my faith, I obey God.
Learn the Bible.
I take your point. I take your points on
You
board.
should be talking about
That
Jesus.
I need to read the
Why are you
Bible.
shouting at me then?
I take
Why are you shouting at me then?
Yeah,
Okay,
because
stop
like an
shouting.
angry man.
Okay, you got me angry.
Lacks
No, you got angry. You made me angry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for getting angry.
Because I've
I'm not
exposed
shouting
that
now.
you make stuff up to make points to
No,
Muslims.
you made me angry because you put me down. Because that's what you do to people. That's what you do to Christians all the time.
You've been exposed.
You put them
Let me
down.
explain, let me explain
And that's how you work.
Let me explain to you. You have been exposed as making stuff up to Muslims to try
I
and...
come here to help people. You come here to put people down.
Yeah.
That's the basic
I've
difference.
exposed you for
You get a
lying
kick
to
out of
Yeah.
putting people down. Yeah?
You
That's what gives you.
I get
Follow
angry
Jesus.
when people
Follow
lie.
Jesus.
People lie about the Bible and deceive other people
Follow
what
Jesus.
the Bible says.
I didn't deceive him.
You did.
He himself said that I did deceive him. You're a deceiver because I'm not shouting. You're a deceiver because I'm not shouting. I'm whispering. You're a deceiver because you said that I deceived him.
Yes, you did.
Right? Did I deceive
He said
him?
you were insincere.
Did I deceive
That was
him?
insincere. I knew it wasn't there.
Yeah, but did I
He
deceive
knew it
him?
wasn't there.
Did I
Because I knew it wasn't there.
Yeah, I didn't deceive you. Thank you.
No, because
am I
you
a
knew.
deceiver?
If someone didn't.
Am I a deceiver?
Judge this man's height.
He said I'm a deceiver.
If they didn't know you, they would have deceived. They said
I'm
I'm
a
a
deceiver.
deceiver.
Says
All right,
you
thank
are
you.
deceiver.
You're a good man. He said I'm not a deceiver. You said a
Paul is the
deceiver.
biggest
You are a
deceiver,
deceiver,
sir.
sir. You are a
You are
deceiver.
the biggest deceiver now.
Yeah.